It helps you, think about the future, because there's no how you're writing your vows and you're like, if you say, oh, I'm with you through thick and thin, nothing separates. That's actually you thinking about the future. So
nothing can separate
nothing can separate me from you. It's time to show my Welcome back to our YouTube channel. We're glad to be here again.
Yes, so excited to be here. And we just see, we won't do any, where have you been, we'll just jump right into it. We have something very exciting to talk about today.
And there's no, we've not talked about it.
Yes,
topic per
confession,
se.
most of the time, we put title when we are posting the video, like, what do we title it? But we're talking about what?
Wedding vows.
Wedding vows, yeah.
The importance of it.
Yeah.
And we share our own story.
Yes, as well. If I were to give this a title, I'll say maybe like for richer, for poorer, for richer, for poorer, for... No.
See, you're rapping.
All right. Anyway. So I think there's a recent trend where wedding vows, maybe not a recent trend, but
I said I don't think it's recent.
But there's this thing where now that couples are taking vows. I don't want to say they're taking it more seriously, but we see couples recite and read vows to their partner on wedding days, apart from the regular.
Our baby is screaming at my boy.
Apart from the usual thing that the pastor will give you, I to take thee, or to be my love wedded bride.
I'm sorry, I love that line. I don't know.
To love and to owe, to cherish, in rich and in poor, for richer, for poorer, to date those party. Yeah. So apart from the customary, regular vows, we now see couples write something from the heart to each other, or just be more emotional. And we want to just talk about that today, the importance, how we see many people just make it about the words, and a lot of that. But before we
they
go
just seem
this,
so poetic and forget that, this is actually beyond mere words.
Yeah. So, but before we go into all that, we want to watch our wedding vows first. And we have a little confession at the end. So, stay tuned and enjoy. So this is,
I was searching for love, and I was sure I'll recognize it when I say it. I had the perfect description of what it would be: beautiful, kind, gentle, and everything a young man would want. But I didn't find love. Love found me. Because this love story being displayed here today is a far better story than I could ever write. This story was not written with pen on paper, because no paper can hold these two imperfect arts in a perfect perpetual symphony. Like exotic tea, leaves dipped in what we brewed with honey. The infusion, a perfect blend of all that God's love is: patient, kind, and full of providential bliss, set on repeat for the rest of our lives. This is like nothing even Hollywood could have created. A beautifully written script by none other than the author of time, the creator of life. A plot that began long before the foundation of the world. A plot that explosion right when the one who was before time chose us first as siblings and said we could spend this temporary life as life partners. This story was not written by no relationship expert or romance novel authors, as sweet as that might be. This was written by the author of love himself, the one who, for love, in spite of being deserted by the very ones he was made to die for, is the hero in the most romantic story ever told. In the same way, I love and will love you, not just because you're beautiful, even though you are.
Feel free to take some pauses to look at how and just if you won't cry.
But because the one who gave you to me loves only in one way, lavishly, recklessly, and yet delicate. I will nurture you as the most delicate and the most beautiful thing. Protect and preserve your blossom and bloom. Because from your womb, both physically and figuratively, we will birth seeds that will make our Father proud, earning us crowns and nothing like the best of this world can offer. And so, babe, we won't take our templates from the best marriage or best movies as great as those might seem. but to be modeled by the one who designed this beautiful mystery. It is you and me forever. To Lokbe and Oinda Amla, to infinity. I love you.
Round 2, fight.
So short gist. I forgot to write my vows. What was it this morning when I was in the bathroom? Alright, so okay, so I was really short of words while writing this. But of course it has to be done, so here we go. Alright, I'd like to first of all thank God for you, for us, for this union, because this union was orchestrated by God, no doubt. Every single step of the way. We've witnessed this together. It has been beautiful. And I'd like to thank you, T. Thank you for loving me the way you do. Thank you for, not just loving me, but doing it the Ephesians 5:25 way. Thank you for always being selfless. Thank you for always putting your honey first. The first thing I loved about you was your heart. I could see through all you did. The love, the intentionality, the humility, the sincerity, and the selflessness. All of it. You always talk about how easy I made you loving me be, but I don't think you know how even easier you made it for me. Being your friend wasn't a hassle at all. Being your lover was even way easier and fun. And it is, and I know it's always be. You made me 100% comfortable being around you. Thank you for accepting me with my flaws. Thank you for never judging me. Thank you for always being patient with me. You are a patient guy. Thank you for always being such a great support system, and I know you continue to be that. Thank you for loving me like you do. I love you, and I always will. I promise to always catch you before you stumble and lift you over every threshold. I will always protect you, T, and forever be by your side. I will stand in the storm with you against your troubles. It's me and you, babe, against the world. You have the core of my heart beating for you, always. My vow this day to you is that I won't only listen, but hear. I won't only trust you, but be honest. I won't only receive love, but I will love you with all my heart and brain. I will love you with all of me, with all that I have, with all that I am, and all I'll ever be. This is forever, T. Nothing will change that. I love
you. Oh my God.
So whatever is the confession about the vows you guys just read? All right, spill it. Spill it. I've been waiting a year and a half for this.
Excuse me. So, quick gist. I didn't write my wedding vows until my wedding morning, and I did not just plan to write it my wedding morning. I actually forgot. So he texted me. I was ready to have my bath and start my makeup very early in the morning.
Backstory. We had said, that we're going to write a vow.
I don't think it was something we specifically spoke about, it's a norm. I don't think we particularly spoke about it.
No. So not every couple actually read their own vows.
I still don't believe that. That is one thing we don't agree about.
All right. So let us know. Maybe we're going to run a poll in the comment section. How many weddings do you go to?
Is it a norm that couples read vows to themselves or not? Apart from what the pastor reads to them.
Yes, the one they write by themselves. Yeah.
I think it's a norm. There's no wedding I've been to, and I've been attending weddings since.
I do many weddings, I officiate many weddings.
Right. So. True. But I've never been to a wedding where couples don't read personal vows to themselves, apart from what pastors. How many weddings have you gone to? I've gone to a lot of weddings. Don't be like that. Anyway, back to our gist. So I totally forgot that morning until I woke up very early that morning. Yeah. I was about to have my bath. Yeah. Then I got a text from him saying, "Oh babe, don't forget to write." Don't forget to write your vows, or don't forget to bring your vows along, or something like that. Just remind me about the vows, basically. So, yeah, that was how I remember. And that I was in the toilets. So I wrote my wedding vow in the toilets.
That's a confession. Although I wrote mine in the morning as well, because I personally believe that the words of your vows, it's a bit having fun. The words of your vows you're not just trying to sound cute or poetic. Sound nice. You're not just trying to sound poetic, we are the rose of Sharon, the water beneath my sail, you want it to mean something to you.
Life as parents.
If you're wondering why I've not been posting videos, now you have your answer. You want it to mean something special. You want it to communicate something. You want it to come from a personal and a deep place, like an honest place.
Yeah, from your heart.
And I think there's no better time you can do that than when you wake up that morning and you realize
the peak
that
of emotions, basically.
I don't know. I think married couples in the comment section can agree or can let us know how this feels. But if it eats you differently your wedding morning.
Yeah. Like, wow, this is happening for real.
Like I'm going to be stuck with this person for the rest of my life.
It's not stuck. You're not okay. Maybe you're stuck anyway. Yeah,
I'm stuck with you.
But yeah, it hit different.
It's different.
Like the reality just dawns on you. Like, wow. Of course, not fear, but that excitement. There's
a bit of fear. Because it has a bit of uncertainties.
There's a bit of fear, but like that's not the
peak.
That's not the peak of the emotions. Yeah, like is that excitement? That's
the butterflies just butterflying in your stomach. So when you write your vows at that moment, it's different because at that moment you're not just only in the euphoria of the feeling, you are also facing the reality. Like the future also is the future is staring you in the face. So the words of your vow is, of course, recounting your love for your partner, your commitment, and of course, many promises for the future.
So you're basically thinking about the past, like where you guys have been, where you guys are coming from.
Yeah.
You're thinking about that day, and then you're thinking about the future as well. Yeah. So it's a lot of emotions in one moment
put together. Yeah. So
it helps you, think about the future, because there's no how you're writing your vows and you're like, if you say, "Oh, I'm with you through thick and thin," nothing separates. That's actually you thinking about the future. So
nothing can separate.
Nothing can separate me from you. That's a show of my.
CCW.
I'm showing up.
CCW, CCI, drag her. She can. Anyway, so I think one thing that makes writing your own vows important is, by the time you're looking at the words, it helps you really think of the future. It helps you, if before now you just be more concerned about what color, is it pink or orange, what are we wearing? But at that moment, this is for real. Yeah. I'm doing life with this person, and you're thinking of the journey ahead, and you're making commitments to each other.
Like the responsibility dawns on you.
Yes. So when those
and
words,
it shows you that like you're actually responsible for a whole other human being apart from yourself. It's huge.
Yeah.
Really
and like this is not selfish. This is selfless. I'm going to love you. I'm going to, hopefully you don't start thinking about that. I'm sorry. Second guess. Well, that's all for today.
It should get you excited. The fear is there.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think also why vows is important is because during tough times in the marriage, let's say 2 years down the line, in fact 6 months down the line, because I know how tough it was for us, the first year, a lot of changes we did not expect to come until after maybe 1 year. Came in the first few months, and oh my God, it was a lot to handle. And just remembering. If you're wondering
what she's talking about, major of it is having a child.
Having a child.
And I think we'll make a video about, how early, and the impact of having Bella early.
I mean, amongst other things, having a child.
Yeah.
That's my Bella. It's so Bella. Anyway, so of course a lot of things happened, but the bulk of it was having a baby and all of that. Another important thing about writing your vows and having them is that you have something to fall back on in tough times in marriage. And this can come 3 months after saying I do. It can come 6 months after, 1 year after, 2 years, 5, 30 years. Yeah. All right. So, that's another important thing. You have something to fall back on. Just going back on it and then remembering the promises you made at the peak of the feeling. And even though, some things might have changed, it just helps you remember that day, that moment, and the importance of those words and how you meant it and how you still mean it. Yeah.
It forms like an anchor, for the marriage. These are the promises we made to each other, So when the going gets tough, then you can what? I told you, the other partner can be something for your other partner to even hold you accountable.
Yeah.
Remember you told me that you stand by me, through the thick and thin.
I just stand by you. I just stand by you.
So it even becomes something for your partner to even hold you accountable to, or hold yourself accountable to. Yes, I said, when the going gets off, I'll be with you, for richer, for poorer, till death.
Sickness and health.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. So I think that's
I think that takes us to talking about for richer, for poorer.
Yeah.
So my personal take.
Let's give a bit of background.
Okay.
So I've seen people argue that even Christians that when we're talking about wedding vows, it should be, instead of for richer, for poorer, it should be for richer, in health and in health. Like, we shouldn't confess negative. You should just be positive. I'll stand by you for richer. And I've seen many people in the church argue that. So, what do you think about that?
My personal take is, people tend to over spiritualize things. That's one, and they seem to take things literally, if that's the word. Yes, and I personally believe that when the pastor is reading out the vows, or whoever it is reading out the vows, and they say, for richer, for poorer, what they really mean is that, in thick and thin, I'm here by your side. I'm going nowhere.
Yeah.
No matter how tough it gets, I'm with you. I think that's what it means, and not literally that you'll be poor, or not literally that you'll be rich, safe. So I think that's the essence of it, and not necessarily that you're actually going to be poor. Yeah,
people should not see it as your partner trying to put a hook around you. Like, maybe I know that I'll be poor in the future, so I'm trying to drag you to like, Shimi, I told you that. No, nobody plans for unfamiliar, unfriendly situations.
Yeah,
but the reality is they will happen. The reality is, I remember there's a text that a pastor read at our wedding, and that's Matthew 7. It's talk about 2 persons, the wind, I think Matthew 7:24 to 27. The wind came, the storm came, but one house was standing. So the truth, talk to any marriages, any married couples that are standing today, they are their own fair share of challenges.
Yeah.
So you're not wishing for it, but you're preparing for it. Like, when it happens, or if it happens, I'm going to stand.
You have my word.
Yes, I'll stand by you regardless. Because the truth is, many marriages that are failing today is because they didn't plan, or they're not prepared for.
People don't talk about the bad things. They just always picture their life with all the best of things.
I'm not even only talking about it, even sometimes thinking about it and preparing for if it happens. So in your head, you just picture how will a marriage be? First year we'll go from Santorini to Bora Bora. Where do you think we'll go that then you're just thinking, we'll just be going out on dates. We'll be going. So you picture only the good things. You don't even give room for when the going.
When the similar
bad things happen, So most of the time, pain, hardship tends to throw couples apart, But when you've already told yourself, say, you know what, babe, no matter what happens, I'm going to stand by you. In health, for richer, for poorer, in health, it gives context, that even when you don't have money, when we have nothing to eat, I'm going to stand by you. When your health is not the best, I'm going to stand by you. So,
I think my take is still that maybe they can take it out of I don't think it was even in our vow. The one person read to us. So it can be taken out of the equation if it causes so much drama. But this is just us explaining what it actually means. Right? And of course, placing it with what it means is better than saying, for richer, for poorer, or for sickness and in health. Just say, through thick and thin, I'm here with you. No matter how tough it gets, I'm here holding your hands and by your side. So
and even if you're writing your own vows, I think your vows should also give room for your commitment, your pledge to your partner for the tough time. You should not just be, oh my God, I remember you made me feel. You should actually also have a projection for the future as well. So So I think is the last thing?
No, I think it's important to talk about what happens when vows are broken. But although I think that should just be an entire video on its own because it's such.
I think we'll make a video, another video about it, and probably even get people to join us on it. But when vows are broken, what do you do?
I think one is, which is basic. I won't say it's basic knowledge, but I consider it basic knowledge. Is seek help, seek counsel. All right, you have people that you're probably accountable to. I believe so. People you honor and respect. Other couples that are older than you that you feel like, okay, yes, they will be able to help you or give you, reasonable advice on whatever it is you guys broke or whatever it is you guys are going through. I think that's really the best. Seeking counsel is is a wise thing to do, and probably the best.
Yeah,
and of course, pray.
Yeah, and I think one thing I'm just going to add to that is when vows are broken, it doesn't mean the marriage has to fail.
Okay. Doesn't mean the marriage has failed, or that the marriage has to come to an end.
Because sometimes that could be part of the unfriendly or unpalatable circumstances that before the marriage. So in this case where, like she said, that happens, and you bring someone you both respect, your pastor or something, are they able to help the person see what they've done and they own up to it? Merely leaving that room, not expecting your partner to fail, but leaving the room for them not to be perfect, to hurt you and everything. It makes you able to forgive when it happens.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you're human. Of course, maybe not the case where they intentionally did it to hurt your feelings or to break your trust, but when it happens, giving that room to forgive, when they are able to hold themselves to the pledge. I said I was going to, treat you the best. When they're truly
remorseful and they really want to change and fix. They really want to change and fix, what has been broken.
Yeah. So when vows are broken, fix it. Right? Yeah. And this might be off topic, but I just remember something people say, like, oh, when you break a mirror, even if you fix it, it's never the same. But you have to, it's different. I understand what that means. And it's, I understand perfectly, but you have to bring the God factor into it.
Yeah.
When God fixes things, if God made it the first time, if you fix it, it can be perfect. Yeah.
And then time heals. I think that's one thing.
Yeah.
Because in the heat of the moment when your partner does something that genuinely broke your heart and hurt you, you feel like, oh, it's always going to be like this. You always hold it against them. But I promise you that time heals.
Yeah.
You might not entirely forget, but it's not something that you remember every minute of every day.
Yes.
In fact, 3 months might go by, you never remember that, yes, your partner did this or you guys even went through this.
Yeah. And when you remember, depends on how you handle and treat it. So when you remember, might just even make you laugh that, man, that happened to us.
And you'll be thankful that you actually survived. Like you actually stayed and you forgave this person and you allowed yourself heal and you led your relationship.
I didn't know why we went through that. We didn't plan
to talk about that.
Why I strongly feel someone probably needs this.
Yeah. And what we plan on talking about next was
vow renewal.
No, not even vow renewal. Like, do you think vows are compulsory? I think we actually handled that a bit already.
Yeah. I think maybe compulsory is not the word. It might not necessarily be in the formalized sense. So you might not hold your paper or your phone and read something out to each other like we did on our wedding day. But I think there should be a form of vow and a pledge. I remember I wrote some pledges towards I wrote in my pledge to my lover, and I wrote it as far back as 2013, 2014. And that was just me saying, these are the standards. These are the standards I'm going to hold myself to when it comes to my married partner. In terms of I'm going to be open to you. I won't keep anything from you. I'm going to treat you. So I think everybody should have that. I don't think you even need to wait. Someone's watching and like, I don't even have a boyfriend, I don't even have a partner. What are you talking about vows? I don't think you need to wait till you have somebody. Of course, it becomes more real when there's somebody you're writing it to. But just me saying, these are the things, these are the vows, these are the pledges I'm going to hold myself to when it comes to, how I'm going to build my own, how I'm going to treat my partner. So I think vows are very necessary. They should be done intentionally. And if you don't even write yours on your wedding day, when the minister or whoever is officiating is reading those things to you, you should think about the words you're saying and mean them. So yeah.
I wanted to add something, but I can't even remember. But I think, you actually said all the important things.
Thank you. So I think we're just going to sign out on a more cute and cheeky note.
Also, wait, before we end, I remember what I wanted to say. I remember someone said, it was on this topic of, saying vows.
Yeah.
A person was like, that she's shy. She doesn't think she'll be able to say her vows in front of the crowd. That, she believes vows are important, but should it really be said, in the crowd? Can't she just say it to her partner privately? I think, like he said, there are no rules to this thing, and nobody says, by fire by force, you must say your vows in front of everyone. You must even say it at all. There's no rules to that. But I think it's also important that, because they serve as a witness, and then you're doing it before, is that thing of, you are doing it in presence of the man of God that is available. So, it just holds more.
That place of public proclamation of your love. Yeah. So I think, and I think that's what makes it even special. That's what makes it a vow or a pledge. The fact that, you can see anything with two of you, inside the corner of your room doesn't make it any more stronger or, firm. But there's this thing where the people that are closest to you, the people that are the people that you love and they love you,
your loved ones, people you honor and respect,
they're right standing in front of you, and saying that to your partner. I think there's a weight to it.
Yeah.
So I think that it makes you might be shy, but for God's sake, you're doing forever with this person, and you're telling the person how you plan to love and take care of them and stand by them. And I think you can break through that shyness and just write it out. Read it. So yeah. So lastly, vow renewals. How often do you think vows to be renewed?
I think I've told you before. I told you that after 5 years, we're going to have a vow. No matter how private it is, it could just be both of us, right?
Yeah.
Then 10 years. It's personal, to be honest. I've seen people, I watched a video, right? She said, she made a reel about how that she got married early and that she was so sure about the guy. They were both so sure about each other, but she had not healed from her past trauma or something like that. And then she felt like she was, just suffering the guy. And then they went their separate ways. I think I'm not sure if they were still married, but they were just not living together anymore. And the entire thing was a mess. I think she said she finally, got healed and she found Christ. I think that was her testimony. She found Christ. She already got healed. And all of that. And then they came back together and then they had the vow renewal. So it's personal. I've also seen cases where people, maybe one person cheats on the other person, and then it could maybe after 3 years, 5 years, 6 years, and then they're like, okay, you know what? We've gone through so much already. I think we should renew our vows to each other, our commitment to each other. I've seen people do it after 1 year, 2 years. So like I said, it is personal. I don't think you say per se like, okay, this is the time frame for you to do it. There's no time frame. It is personal.
Yeah, you're so wise.
Thank you. So I already told him that we're going to do it maybe after 5 years or 10 years. It depends. But
so I love the best part of what you said. I love is when your marriage goes through something that shakes the foundation of the core. It's just important that you come back together to, what we said to ourselves, 2 years ago, 5 years ago. Yes, it has been tried, it has been tested. Maybe now we're even older, we're more mature, do we still mean it? Were there promises I made to you that I feel that now I want to hold myself up to again? Were there things that maybe when I said it I was just being poetic, but now they actually we've seen life and life has seen us, and now we want to just so, and really there are no timeline to that. For some people every anniversary should be a sort of vow renewal. You know what, a year ago we made this promise to ourselves, and I think we still mean it, we're still going to stand by it, even more stronger. So I think every anniversary is an opportunity to maybe not vow renewal, but maybe vow revisit or or vow review. Just revisit
it and just remind yourselves of what you promised each other.
But for the most people think of vow renewal with the occasion, like another wedding
No, it
after
doesn't have to be grand.
get so
Doesn't.
so for that one, wait, there's no wait 5 years, wait 10 years, there are no rules to that. So with that, we've come to the end of
this
video. Please, if you have questions for us, feel free to leave the question in the comments. We'll
section.
reply
We'll
every comment as much as possible. And just in case you've not subscribed, please subscribe. Subscribe, turn on the bell notification. That's how they say it, Abby. And also share this as well.
Turn on the post notification. Like, share, subscribe. Turn on post notification.
All right. And we have more videos coming your way. So please watch our previous videos. And of course, if this is not the most recent videos, watch other videos as well. So till we see you again.
Thank you.
Bye.